Yes, people, we are back again.
What's up? What's up?
Unscripted. Here we go.
You know how it is. You know how it is.
What are you telling me? How are you?
I'm good, man. It's been freezing this week,
man.
man.
Listen, it's like the weather just went boom. It's like God just flicked the switch and just said, "Yeah, this is now. It's a scrap autumn. We're in winter now because This week has been freezing.
Yeah.
You see me wearing the fleece and the jacket on top of the fleece. I'm telling you, it's been cold. Very, very cold.
Yeah. Have you been to New York before?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Still, I wouldn't put it on the level of New York. Whenever you go, well, I think America in general, but New York.
I've even got a question about New York because someone was telling me something. Yeah, I need to check it. I don't know if it's true, but does New York have a rat problem? Did you see any rats when you went to New York?
I haven't. But I didn't. I only stayed there for 1-2 days.
Someone was saying that like rats in New York are like squirrels here. I don't know if it's that mad. I don't know, but that's what they were saying. That's what they were trying to tell me, and I was like, "Come on now, like that's not the case."
Yeah.
But then you know when I think about it, yeah, in Spider-Man, they even have rats in the game. You know, Spider-Man's Why would you make a detail such as including rats in a game like that?
Yeah. That's
someone needs to tell me. Someone needs to explain what's going on over there. Cause so you didn't see any rats though?
I didn't see any rats.
Alright, cool.
I didn't see any rats. But then again, there might be certain parts like the Bronx is in New York, right? The Bronx, yeah. I don't know. Maybe the ghetto parts, you know, the AKA projects. You know. Oh man, definitely. I would like to see, for historical purposes, the projects.
I
would like to see.
But apparently, you need someone to take you around. You can't just turn up there.
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
But I hear it though. You can't just turn up to certain estates as well. So that's what it is.
What's it? Vaccine time, maybe. We were talking about it before the camera rolled.
It might just be time, you know.
Yeah.
It might just be time.
I think so.
Fam, if you do it, I'll do it.
Like it's a dare.
It's true. If you do it, I'll do it.
You go first.
You go first.
It's a joke.
Listen, if anyone ever tells you to do that, just run from them. That person doesn't value you, man. That person said you do it first. Everyone says you do it first. You go first.
That's not encouraging.
That's not encouraging at all. But no, on a serious note, I feel like it might be time.
It
might actually even be time. Even me, especially after this train journey that I had today, I feel like maybe I just need to go and maybe even give me all 3 doses. Give me 2 doses, like give me the booster straight away. Because hey,
advanced
fam.
Oh man, that's crazy. But one of the main things we're going to talk about, we were speaking about before the camera rolled, in terms of like the culture appropriation,
which has been it's been a big topic in recent weeks. It's always kind of, in recent years, it's always been an issue. Like it's always been something that I've seen people talk about. But recently, I feel like there's been a lot of things that have happened that has just brought the whole topic back up again. I mean, in recent times, there was the whole blackfishing like case with the lady from Little Mix, which I've forgotten her name as well. She made a song with Nicki Minaj, and it got a lot of backlash because people were trying to say that she's blackfishing, so basically trying to paint herself as being black, like even physically in terms of her features, in terms of tan and all that kind of stuff, and her hair texture and all this kind of stuff. And people are trying to say that she's basically trying to be black. Even in recent times.
Jessie Nelson.
Jessie Nelson, that's the name. Jessie Nelson. And she got a lot of backlash for that. Even Nicki Minaj came.
She almost looks black, so she's not.
She's not black. Not black
at
all. At all.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It is a bit crazy. And
that looks more than a tan.
It looks like more than a tan, but I don't know. Apparently she says that she tans easily, which I don't know. I'm not too sure, but yeah, she got a lot of backlash for that, and yeah, that sparked up a whole debate on like social media and stuff like that. And then even in more recent weeks as well, the whole kind of concepts of cultural appropriation and like even the idea of culture vultures, which again we see a lot with musicians and stuff. People have been saying Ed Sheeran, which this one I just find it completely outrageous, especially if you know his background. But anyway, a lot of people have been saying that he's always taken from the scene and stuff like that, and tries to align himself with the scene, whatever, and yeah, it benefits him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I thought, again, this is unscripted.
Yeah.
Let's come and have an unscripted conversation about this whole concept of cultural appropriation, blackfishing, cultural, I don't even know, cultural vulture, all these different terms. There's so many different terminologies for it.
I think cultural appropriation definitely, starting from like if it exists or not, I think it definitely does exist.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does exist.
In the business world, even from what we saw with the Black Lives Movement from last year, there were a lot of brands, companies, you know, on the PR side, marketing side, pushing certain narratives, you know, to show they are for the cause. But we know that, you know, in most of those cases, or some of the cases at least, you know, it wasn't as genuine as 100%. They want us to think, you know. And they're just using it, even probably as an advantage, to just make themselves look better, you know, in the eyes of the public.
100%. 100,000, 2,000 million %. Because a lot of these companies that were trying to align themselves with the whole course last year, where are they now? I don't see any efforts. I don't see anything.
No.
Even a lot of them, before like kind of social media again got onto their backs, a lot of them were just maybe like just posting Black Lives Matter and not like contributing to the cause or doing anything like that. And that's why the whole open your wallet, open your purse thing kind of came about as well. So it definitely does exist. It definitely does exist. But where do you draw the line between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation? Because for me, I feel like it's a very, very thin line.
It's very thin line. It's very blurry as well.
It's very blurred.
It's very blurred, and it's hard to tell unless you know you really know the intentions.
Yeah.
You know, if you know where that's coming from.
It's true, because again, as some people are good at hiding, like unless you really know the deep intentions or you can read someone's mind, you'll never really know like whether they actually do genuinely like appreciate something or like something, or they're just trying to like make money from it.
Okay, I think you know it's cultural appreciation when, just as you mentioned, there is a level of consistency in that appreciation. It's not a one-off, and it's not like a superficial kind of effort, if that makes sense. Like, I know if you talk about music, artists like Drake, there are artists like Drake who, you know, will dabble into different kind of genres and whatnot. But personally, what I would say he doesn't cultural appropriate, or some people say he isn't a culture vulture, is because exactly. It's because after, you know, a consistent amount of years, he's consistently shown appreciation, and at least from what you see, without being, you know, without being biased, you know, he's shown it in very positive ways. You know, working with different artists, knowing that, you know, if we be honest, in most of, you know, the cases, he's the biggest artist. You know, and he does. Of course, he might reach a certain fan base, but it does more for the other artist than for himself. You know,
Yeah.
So definitely consistency and what you do as well to show that it's not like a superficial thing, you know.
Yeah, because even thinking like with that Drake example that you gave, yeah, I feel like definitely consistency is definitely a big like is a big one because even when you think of Drake, like okay, he has a thing for like UK music, and you can see it since like for years. Like he's always shown love to artists, like from little things like coming. People like Section Boys have brought him out on stage,
exactly.
in a tiny venue. It's not even like at Wireless or anything like that. And for him, an artist of his stature to like come to that, come on, like he's not really benefiting anything from that. Come on, no one that turned up there didn't know who Drake was.
Exactly.
So what could he actually be benefiting from
exactly,
that? So like what you're saying, I feel like definitely consistent. Until now, you still see he still shows love like to people. So I definitely feel like consistency is definitely one. And then when I even think about it, bringing it back to the Ed Sheeran example as well, like I feel like it's so funny because a lot of people, and again, it always comes back to social media. Some people are just so quick to talk, and they're so quick to talk before they even do their research or they even know about the subject. So like this whole Ed Sheeran thing kind of came about when he made a song with Tion Wayne and someone else, and everyone's like, wow, this is behind them or whatever, and that's where people started saying, oh yeah, this guy's just trying to like align himself with the scene and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, the funny thing is, the first place I saw Ed Sheeran, forget about all these number ones and everything I saw, was on SBTV. So, SBTV. What are you people really saying?
Exactly.
This is somebody, that makes kind of indie, I don't even know what the genre is, like indie kind of rock, pop music, whatever, What is his business on SBTV? Is that the platform where an artist like him will normally go on?
Exactly.
And then even like further, because I do like Ed Sheeran, I do like his music, and I just like how down to earth he is as a person in general anyway. So I've studied him in a sense. But yeah, like even like in terms of interviews and stuff like that, a lot of people met him. So even Zizi, like she was saying, she met him at a show way back in the day. He came to the show, the only white person there, and it was obviously like a hip hop kind of thing. Right? He brought out his guitar and started playing. Same thing on the Chucky podcast. Chucky said the same thing. So this is years ago. This is like 10 plus years ago. Somebody that's not even from London. Yeah. And then when you even like listen to him like describe like stuff that I don't even know. Like me, I was brought up on grime, and I'm definitely still, grime still touches my heart for some reason. But anyway, I don't know what it is, but yeah, like he even has knowledge of grime that even surpasses me, and I'll say that I'm a grime head kind of thing. So I just find it very, very, very interesting that people are so quick to come and now say that, oh yeah, this guy is just trying to align himself with the culture to help his pockets or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's just like, it's the way humans are wired, and especially how social media, it kind of doesn't help, that part of, our species or whatever. It's like we're so quick to jump to conclusions, look at things in the wrong way, and we don't ever stop to use some of our intelligence, some of our IQ.
We actually don't.
To think, okay, what is this person doing? What effect does this have, good or bad? Why would they do it? Weigh it up,
That's what I'm saying. Just actually weigh up, because do you know? Actually, let me throw some questions, and it would have actually even be good to have a lady or female here, because I feel like a lot of these debates are female orientated. A lot of it, like in terms of, let's even talk about hair and braids and all that kind of stuff. Like a lot of the females that had a problem with like Kim Kardashian and all these people braiding their hair and doing all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like this is a hard question. Okay, would you feel like okay, let me just even for a blunt question here, like, is a white person braiding their hair, do you feel like that is cultural appropriation?
I personally don't think it is. I think that we would be ignorant to say that there are certain gestures, looks, that have not originated from a certain background, ethnicity.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we're all free to do what you want to do, the other way around, I wouldn't say a black person, doing jerry curls or straightening their hair. Because you guys, this is right there. I wouldn't say that as well. Is that so? No, not in hindsight. Just looking at it now, I wouldn't think so. But I've seen people like look at it that way straight away. With white people, for example, braiding their hair, dreadlocks and whatnot. I've definitely seen that.
Interesting. For me, I don't feel like that's cultural appropriation. Again, like you're saying, I feel like everyone. This is just worldwide. I feel like everyone should just be knowledgeable of certain things. Like I can and understand that some things are associated with some cultures, and be understanding towards that. But I don't feel like, especially in the world in 2021, where bruv, globalization has taken over everything. I'll probably know about some cultures more than people that are actually from that background. Especially now, even living in the UK, living in London, where there's so many different diverse cultures. Come on, I do not feel something like that is cultural appropriation. It can be in some instances. Like, let's say somebody is that has no roots or no understanding, no background within the culture, or no real appreciation for the culture, now wants to come and start acting like they're black or something. Like, they braid their hair, start putting some chains or whatever, and just acting like, I don't know, you're cool or hip or whatever. I feel like that is a bit weird.
Yeah.
And some people do that as well. I've seen couple, they're always from America, which is so funny. Anyway, it's always from America. But yeah, there are some people that are like that and have got some stardom from that. But for me, just something as light as someone, just a white person braiding their hair or something like that, or even wearing like African clothes or something like that, I don't really feel like that's cultural appropriation, man.
How about like, in the typical movie or TV show where you see some, I don't know, a group of young guys or young people, and then there is someone who is more experienced, older in age, now trying to be like the youth and like, what's up, bro? Blah, blah. Might even like to exaggerate, maybe put some chains or whatnot in that context. Would you say? And they're trying to, let's say that in their eyes, they're trying to genuinely relate to.
That's an interesting one, because
or someone you've known for a while that's been a certain way.
Yeah.
They may be trying a bit too hard, but they're trying to now, there's no comment. Yeah.
Again, even from that, I personally wouldn't really take offense to it. I wouldn't really take offense to it. I could say maybe they might be ignorant in some cases. Like, I feel like some people do stuff out of ignorance. But I would, if anything, if I did have a problem with it, I'll use it more as a way, or I'll educate them more, kind of thing, rather than saying, look at you, you're just trying to culture vulture or do all this kind of stuff, or come and be saying the stuff that these people are saying on socials. Yeah, I'll use it more to educate rather than just criticize them. I don't know, because some people, honestly, they don't know. They are actively trying to seek for ways to relate to people, but they don't know how best, because they don't know anything about the culture.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, fam, if you threw me in the Amazon rainforest with some of these indigenous people, I would try and do what I can do to try and like fit into their culture. But I don't know whether they will take offense to it. I don't know what that is. You might see me paint this, and to them they're like, "What's this guy doing? Is he trying to take the people?"
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. But I can see why some people might take offense to that. But I guess it's kind of, I don't know if the word like growing up is part of the equation where it's kind of that classic example of oh, that's my toy, or you're sitting in my chair.
Yeah.
You know? It was like, it's not maybe as deep as it may look at first glance.
Yeah.
And you just need to take a step back and think, you know, ask those kind of questions like, why, what's this person's aim, their goal, and whatnot, you know, in that regards.
Okay, now there's the big one, and again, it would be nice to have a female as well, because again, this is something that a lot of females have been speaking about. Okay, so right now, again, in this 2021, seems to be 22, there is, I wouldn't even say a pandemic, because some people won't find that as a problem, but there's definitely a thing where women of other races try to adopt features that are traditionally associated with black women. So whether that is lips, getting big lips by putting lip fillers or whatever, or getting some surgery to get their chest or their bum done or something like that. What are your views on that? These are all characteristics that are traditionally associated with black women, and once upon a time, they weren't really deemed as being beautiful or deemed as being accepted in the wider public, but now all of a sudden it's now the thing to do, and hence why you're seeing a lot of people kind of doing this stuff.
That's an interesting one. I think that is looking at the bigger picture, because I like to see things a bit further ahead than what they are. I think that is a microcosm of how, in different ways, let's say in this context, where some black women who have felt disadvantaged maybe in other areas have tried to copy the white woman, you know, to try and get success maybe in a professional manner, as maybe the white women would like to get success in terms of like relations with men, you know, and beauty in that way. So sorry, going a bit too far. So come back to what you said.
No, that is a valid. That's a point. That's a good point.
Yeah. So, I don't. I wouldn't say, I can't say, I don't have any power to say if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
But I think it's ignorant when if anyone tries to overlook it and not try to, you know, make the point that, okay, you know, even if you didn't do it specifically because it comes from somewhere, but have in mind that, you know, predominantly this is not a natural thing, and it imitates a certain group of people. Something like that, you know, because especially if you go in excessive, like in this context, your lips, your hair, your bum, and everything, like, okay, come on, like, you know.
It's true. But yeah, even what you're saying as well, again, I've got no power to say it's right or wrong or anything like that. But all I would say with a lot of these things is I just feel like people should be more kind of knowledgeable on certain stuff. Like, I have appreciation. Sometimes I don't feel, in some situations I don't even feel like it's even that deep, but in a sense, just have an appreciation of where maybe this style and wherever this thing is actually from, kind of thing, rather than just, you know, ignorantly just doing stuff. But again, I don't really feel, and I'm also going on another side, I can't say people shouldn't be offended as well. Do what you like. But all I would say is that if you are offended by such things as well, also check yourself and see if you are adopting any stuff from any other culture at the same time. Because it's always easy to say, hey, look, you're doing this, but have you looked at how your hair is? Have you looked at certain features that you may have enhanced or done something to, you know, look in a certain way? check yourself before you wreck yourself.
There you go. But it's interesting though, because I'm starting to think, if the culture appropriation, like if you are taking something from somewhere or something, that isn't necessarily your, I don't know, within comfort zone. I don't know. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. As long as you don't like fall into the, if I can say, pit of like losing yourself in it, and like I said, becoming ignorant, will it always be an okay thing?
I feel like, really, for me, the only time I kind of have a problem with some things is when I feel like the person is really just taking from a culture, really more time to just make money from it, make peace from it, and not really even giving anything back to the culture that they're stealing from. Or they're trying to take ownership of the thing and try and brand it as if they were the first person to do it, or this is their thing. That's when I really have a problem with this stuff, because again, like I say, we are in a global world. The internet has connected us in a crazy way. So there's no way that we are not going to take some things from certain cultures and stuff like that. And fam, I can't come and take permission every time I want to go and use a spice from the cupboard and say, hey, listen, bruv, you man in Asia, can I use this? Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
That would be a bit silly.
Even in the context, okay, finish.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, for me, it's really, I only really have problems with this stuff when you're either trying to take ownership, or you're just trying to profit from it and you're not even giving anything back. That is where I say that person's actually a culture vulture, because what do vultures do? That's what vultures do. They just eat. That's it. They don't leave anything back. They just eat what's there. They're the rats of the sky, man. Talking about rats.
I think that perfectly goes into what I was about to say, the concept of eating and ownership or whatever. Because when we talk about in the context, let's say, of food, where maybe you've walked into a Caribbean restaurant, you've seen that the people are not Caribbean.
I've never actually got thought about that.
Or maybe, I don't think anyone's come to this point, but you walked into an Indian restaurant and, the people are not Indian. Might be black or white, whatever. What do you say in that circumstance? When they're not giving, they're profiting off something, they haven't necessarily, it's a free country, obviously you can do what you want, but they're profiting off it, they're just there, they're doing their thing, like,
this one.
Do you think that they are held to a certain level of accountability?
This one,
yeah.
This one is a bit tricky, and I feel like when I think about it, I lean towards the side more that I do kind of have a problem with it, and I'll tell you why, because you've obviously started to sell this cuisine. I'll take a perfect example, that I think of that comes to mind is a lot of some of these Caribbean restaurants. Most of these chain Caribbean restaurants, Turtle, we're gonna finish it off so they don't come and say, but you guys know. Like, I was surprised to find out some stuff like the owners, or even just walking into some of the stores, you just see that the people that are serving or cooking the food don't look Caribbean. Maybe they are, I don't know, but they don't. And the owners, I know for a fact, they're not Caribbean as well. So for me, I kind of do have a problem with that. Now, I don't know if they were contributing some of the profits and stuff to, I don't know, to development in the Caribbean or something like that. Maybe that will kind of ease the blow to a sense, but something just still kind of doesn't sit right with me, with you being from another culture and now you want to sell food from this culture because you know that it's popular. But at the same time, from a business standpoint, that's what I would do. Why would I not sell the thing that I feel like would make the profit?
If it just, you put yourself in this example. So you're looking for the next business venture, the next thing, and you see that Ecuadorian food is popping. Yeah, Ecuadorian food is popping. Sorry, forgive me, I don't know the dishes. But Ecuadorian food is popping.
Yeah.
Oh, South America, money there. And then you say, okay, cool. You just start up a restaurant,
Yeah.
with food, everything like that. The cuisine, everything. You won't even have. Maybe the people you're working with are not even from Ecuador as well. Let's just say, but it's just the cuisine, and you're using this obviously to make money because it's business. It's an opportunity that you've seen.
Yeah.
Would you be wrong to do that?
This is what I mean. This was why it's a bit something with me. Yeah, just inherently it doesn't feel right. I wouldn't do something like that. But at the same time, the businessman in me says, go for it. Do your thing. Get your money.
Or if one of your South American friends just opened up an African restaurant and they've now just for profit.
That's what I'll feel a kind of way.
I'll
feel a kind of way. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually not gonna lie. I feel like, wait, what's going on here? What is going on? Close this restaurant now. I don't care.
Oh my god!
Or at least bring me on to be a partner, man. Because where is this? But I'm just being honest. I'll feel weird.
Strange.
It'll feel strange.
Definitely.
It'll feel strange.
It should become something very serious as well.
Yeah.
As well.
It'll feel strange. Because even again, I'm thinking about it. Even this was, even during the lockdown, like last year or whatever, I remember there was a period where a lot of people were finding out that a lot of these brands and like stuff that I feel like Duns River, all these kind of like brands that you think are like Caribbean or African are not. And a lot of people were like, oh, let's boycott these guys. I was just thinking, right, wait, you've been using it all your life, like you gotta just relax.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. What about you?
I don't know. I would find it very strange.
It was strange, isn't it?
If this is as an example. If one of my friends, someone that's South American or Caucasian, white, whatever, I don't know, started like a Congolese restaurant, started selling the pondu, the taba, everything, and then it becomes a proper establishment. And let's say, just for saying sake, that no one from the establishment, is from Congo. It would feel like you kind of robbed something.
Yeah,
you took something from me, and you're not giving it back in any way. You've literally just taken it when there's culture behind it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, man. Like, you haven't been through the experiences I have. Don't come and make pounded jam. What do you know about that? You don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it was that way as well. Like, I think if if I was to start like I don't know a chippy I don't know chip for those that are a fish and chip shop or just like a establishment where I just saw British food, British dining, and there was no one in the establishment that was white. Well, let's say, in fact, not just white, because you could be British and black. But let's say,
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Sorry. So let me rectify what I'm saying. So let's say no one in the establishment, apart from me, was not British. Like, everyone came from wherever in the world, but we just made this. We're doing this thing, all British food, whatever. But you have nothing British about us.
That'll be a bit weird. It'll be a bit strange.
Yeah.
It will definitely be a bit strange. This is why it's a bit. Yeah, man. I do feel like I definitely have a problem with it. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to.
How can someone give back in that case? If you started a Mexican restaurant, how would you give back to the Mexican community or make them feel like they should validate you? Not that you're looking for it, but that you should.
The thing is, I don't feel like if you ever do, well, someone was to ever do something like that and set up a business like that, just be aware that you'll always be criticized. Like, there's no way that there's no amount of money or whatever that would kind of, you know, alleviate you from being criticized or anything like that. So just be prepared for that. But I'm just trying to think of scenarios where it could possibly be maybe allowed. Let's say now that, because again, like, okay, let's bring it down to like kind of London or British culture. Again, we've all grown up with like different races and stuff like that. Let's say now someone that, you know, to be honest, none of my white mates really ate like any of like the when I say nice food, like maybe jollof rice, but that's light, man. That's the thing. But like pounded yam, pounded yam, and a goosey kind of thing. But let's say one of my friends from young, like he's had an appreciation for my culture kind of thing. Come to my house, he's been eating pounded yam, everything. He probably maybe even knows how to even speak a little bit of Yoruba or something. If he now was to open something out of appreciation for it, would I have a problem with it?
Yeah.
I don't think I would. But again, I know him.
Yeah.
So this is where, again, is a bit kind of blurred lines. Because again, you don't really ever know someone's heart. You can't really read their mind to kind of say, this person's just doing it for money. This person's doing it from appreciation as well.
Yes.
Because some people just really, really like cultures.
It's true.
Like, I love Japanese culture. Everything about Japan, I love it. I won't go and open a sushi bar though. but I love everything about their culture.
Yeah.
And there's some people that are just like that as well. They love things about certain people's cultures as well. But I don't know, man. This one is. I
think again, you can't please
everyone. I'm gonna sit on the fence because I don't really care.
I think that you can't please everyone, as you said, but maybe by trying your best, not too hard, but trying your best to show visibility that you care about the culture.
Yes.
That you're student, you're learning, you've been learning, you will learn whatever, and to try and connect yourself to that community as much as possible, not for even just validation's sake, but just to prove in general how authentic what you're doing is. Because if I was to, you know, again, like you said, to have a Japanese restaurant, but you know, I distanced myself from the, you know, Japanese people, the Japanese community, or
that's one I really have.
I literally don't want to have. It doesn't make sense even. It just doesn't make sense anyway. You know, like even the example I gave, someone started a Congolese restaurant, but they don't want to have, you know, anything to do with the community. I mean, the community is the one that birthed the culture, the food. So how could you, like, how could you do that, man? You're tripping. Oh yeah, no, it's
definitely true. Yeah, for me, 100%. Just give back. If you're benefiting anything from, you know, adopting anyone's culture, I feel like just give back. Like,
it doesn't have to be monetary.
It doesn't have to be monetary. There's different ways that you can give back to the community, not just necessarily monetary. Like, even when I think about it, even like Pirate Studios as well, when I think about it, is a good example. Shout out Pirate Studios that we're using right now. But I'm even thinking, like, in terms of like, I thought about it like recently, in terms of like the locations of like where their studios are. Traditionally, they're very cultural spots. So Camden, Dalston, Hackney Wick, like, and Tottenham, all of these kind of places that people really kind of class as the ends and stuff like that. And like, at first I was like, that's a bit interesting that they've chosen these locations. But something that I do credit Pirate for doing is that they kind of embrace the community in the sense that, like, regardless of the background, they give you a platform to kind of, you know, come and express yourself, kind of thing. So it's not that we're just gonna plant which a lot of companies and a lot of people we're just gonna plant it and we don't care about the neighboring community. We don't care about people who have lived in the neighborhood, whose lives and background has been established
100%.
there. Like that's when I have problems with a lot of things, and even like gentrification and all this. That's where I have a lot of problems with, because again, like. So I'm all here for regenerating areas and stuff like that. I don't feel like we should keep the same blocks that have been there for 100 years. Like make it beautify the place, but at the same time, like let's also remember that there were people here that this is some people's background, this is some people's culture, kind of thing. So yeah, people give back, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know what's next to say, but. It's very thought provoking. It's interesting,
And I just remember one last thing as well, because you even mentioned it, British, So I would still class myself in terms of nationality.
Yes,
I'm black British. Yes. Right?
I find it funny. Was it Renee that crucified me because I said I'm English?
maybe. But that one, I know that's technicalities, but
if I
definitely.
Sterling is English.
He's playing for England,
and he's English.
Yeah, he's English. You can play for England. You're English as well.
So why didn't I can't even remember what the argument was, but I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, to be honest, like the difference between English and British, I don't know. I feel like British is more kind of inclusive, or if you live in the land, or basically if you have a passport. I feel like when she was talking about English, it's more referring to the ethnicity kind of thing. Rather than you being, whether you're born or rather than you just holding the passport kind of thing. So yeah, I was gonna ask, because again another topic came up with White Yardie, and this one, I even felt uncomfortable when I was even watching the clip as well, because like it just felt like they were just badgering, just trying to kind of break him, and it felt very kind of unfair. And they were basically trying to say that what makes you Jamaican? You're not Jamaican. But this is somebody that lived in Jamaica pretty much all his life until now came back into thing, has a passport, went to school there, which I feel like is a very, very big thing. And they were basically trying to say that he's not Jamaican. I find that
I think it's very counterproductive when you think about how even in this country, not just this country, but when you talk about systemic racism and stuff like that, it's kind of hypocritical to a sense. It is very hypocritical. Because the same way those people would say that, there are people that in this country would say that, oh, you're not British because you don't have the same color as me. Or, for example, in my case, I basically grew up here. I wasn't born in this country, or you weren't born in this country, so you're not British. So it's like So yeah, it's a two-edged sword, So it can go either way. You just need to. People don't think about that though.
People actually don't think about it, and again, that word. But a lot of people actually are hypocrites, and I find that with a lot of like social causes, like whether it's regarding racism, whether it's regarding feminism, whether it's regarding a lot of things where people kind of hide behind the guise of seeking equality, a lot of people actually don't even want equality. They want superiority. They want whatever the cause they're behind. They want to be at the top. Whether it's feminists, some of them, I'm not saying all of them are like this, but a lot of them I'm not saying even a lot, I'm not going to quantify it, but a few people just want to be at the top. They want to change the thing. But surely if you're looking for equality, you won't. You that is basically will claim to be British because you were born in this country, or where you've grown up here, say born, but you've grown up here, whatever. How can you now come and say somebody that grew up in another country as well, just because they're white, they're not that nationality? Literally the same thing that you've done, you have a problem with someone else over there, and you're
exactly.
It's like it's a bit mad.
Exactly that, man. Yeah, there's a lot of cracks in the system.
There's a lot of cracks in the system.
A lot.
Definitely. But yeah. This is definitely another conversation for another day.
Indeed.
There's a lot to unwrap. But as always, guys, make sure you're, the conversation continues in the comments. So
Indeed.
let's get that conversation flowing. Then.
Thanks everyone that's been watching, listening.
Yep.
Interesting things on the horizon.
100%.
And we shall let you know how it goes.
Yep. Peace.
Peace up.